Hi, readers. Last time we met, we discussed ways to read intensely, and we ended with stop and jots. We talked about how it's important to stop and jot to keep track of our reading ideas and see how those ideas about characters and themes grow and change across the story. Well, today I want to remind you that readers do the work the book is requesting. And the way we do this is by selecting a just right book to read. But what makes a book just right? Readers, you might want to think across your fingers and list ways that you know how to pick a just right book. I know that some of you are thinking, well, a book is just right when there's like a balance, when it's not too easy, because if it's too easy, how am I going to grow as a reader? But also, it's not way too hard to understand either, because if it's too hard, I can't grow ideas if I can't keep track of the story. Today's goal is to grow solid ideas by selecting just right books. And I'll show you how I tried this work. So when I logged on to my Epic account, there were two books that I really wanted to read. Ramona, because I like stories with a strong female lead, and The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, because I'm the kind of reader that really enjoys mysteries as well. Well, if you look at the green arrows, you'll notice that Ramona, it says, is a FMP level S. And let's say I'm about an RS reader. And then if you look at Sherlock Holmes, it doesn't have a reading level. And you'll find that a lot of books on these sites don't tell you the level. Well, then it's up to us to decide as readers if this book is too hard. So, readers, I'll ask, a book is too hard when? How do you know that a book is too hard for you? Again, you might want to list across your fingers, how do you know a book is too hard? I know some of you are thinking, well, if I read out loud and it just doesn't sound smooth, then it's too hard. And if I try to reread it and it still doesn't help, again, it's too hard. If I read the story out loud or read it in my head and I don't quite understand what's going on, if the letters are way too small and close together, and also if there's just too many hard words. These are ways that we know that a book is too hard for us. So now I'm going to turn to the first page in the book that's not leveled, the Sherlock Holmes story, A Case of Identity. So I started to read, and I'll start reading the first paragraph. My dear fellow, said Sherlock Holmes, as we sat on either side of the fire in his lodgings at Baker Street, life is infinitely stranger than anything which the mind of a man can invent. We would not dare to conceive the things which are really mere commonplaces of existence. If we could fly out of that window hand in hand, hover over this great city, gently remove the roofs and peep in the queer things which are going on, the strange coincidences, the plannings, the cross purposes, the wonderful chains of events working in through generations and leading to the most ultra results, it would make all fiction with its conventionalities and its foreseen conclusions most stale and unprofitable. I'm going to pause right there. So, I only read the first paragraph aloud to you, but I read the first page. I read these first four paragraphs. And as you see in green, I underlined some of the tricky words. Not all of the tricky words, but most of them. And I noticed just by looking at the page that the letters are way too small and close together. Can you see that? And some of these tricky words, it's not like there's just one or two. There's tricky words in every paragraph. Conventionalities, ultra, vulgar, magistrate, platitudes, crude. So, as you can tell, even though the book is not leveled, I realize this book is too tricky. And maybe this is a book that I'll read in the summer, or maybe this is a book that I'll read next year. But right now, I'm going to start with Ramona. because it's my just right reading level. So now you try, readers. Read intensely for 45 minutes, then don't forget to stop and jot and submit this on Google Classroom. Make sure that the books you read are just right, and if you need a reminder, here's the chart for you again. A book is too hard when it doesn't sound smooth, rereading it doesn't help, it isn't understandable, the letters are too small and close together, or there are just too many hard words. All right, readers, I can't wait to read your stop and jots. See you tomorrow.